Today we're here on the private teaching tee at the Olympic View Golf Club, and with me our special guest, Dr. Stuart Love. Stuart, nice to see you today. Thanks for joining.
Jeff, it's an absolute pleasure to be out here today.
Great to have you back, and today we're going to be talking about some exciting things that are going to help not only your golf swing but your body and your overall health. But before we do, Stuart, could you maybe tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I've been working with the Canadian Tour for the last 17-18 years, and I'm a sports chiropractor in town here at Balance Wellness and Sport. And for the last 2.5-3 years, I've been out working on the PGA Tour with a group called Pro Golf Health. And so we work with professional golfers that play both in the PGA Tour and the European Tour.
I'm always wondering, as a golf professional, how I can help my students' mobility. How can I help them maintain their posture throughout impact and throughout the swing? Maybe you can kind of clear a few of those things up. Maybe show me what you would do with a student or a client to help them move better.
Sure. I mean, I'd be glad to, Jeff. A big thing, like in your field also, first you want to get an assessment of the individual and see where they're at, where their starting points are, and then definitely want to get an idea of what their goals are and objectives of where they want to go with their golf game. And so those are important aspects to us. So even from my perspective, I want to assess the individual, see what their physical strengths are and some of their limitations, and see if they do have any deficits, and be able to work with their strengths and then build on what their existing components are.
Well, great. Well, maybe you can you do a brief assessment on me, or how should we proceed?
We can do a brief screen on you. Typically, the Titus Performance Institute is one aspect that does a certain screening. They have a 10-component screening that we can easily do. It checks your shoulder range of motion, your neck range of motions. It has a look at your posture. You can look at your lower back. Some of your slight movements with regards to overall structure. They have a thing what's called the overhead deep squat, which gives you an overall assessment of what's happening from your ankles, your knees, your hips, lower back, shoulders, and at the neck area. And again, it gives you just a generalized screen. So it's not something you take and all of a sudden you can put something into a program, but it gives you just a good grasp on where this individual might be and where you may want to take them. So, Jeff, you've mentioned you've had a right shoulder issue. Yeah. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of what you can look at. Again, they're very generalized to get some idea of what's going on in those areas. So one area we definitely want to have a look at is some neck ranges of motion. So I'll just have you look forwards towards the camera there. And Jeff, all I'm going to get you to do is turn as far as you can, just with your head to the left. So look over to your left shoulder. Okay. And then I'm going to have you look over to the right shoulder as far as you can. Okay, so just come back to the middle. So definitely just looking at that, you can see there are some differences between one side to the next, and so those limitations can have an impact on what's happening with the shoulder.
Are you supposed to feel pain?
Well, you don't want to feel pain, but the fact
right.
is you feel pain is important to understand and know where the pain's coming from. Okay. So those would be the two neck ones that we would look at. Now the other one you want to look at too is, again, facing forwards for me, and I want to take your chin and look over to the right shoulder and then drop it down into the shoulder for me. Okay, and then come back to that same starting position again, and then go to the left side for me. Okay, and then back up again. So again, when you look at that, you can see there are some differences between side to side, and I won't get into specifics of what could be causing different problems, but that's a general screen to see that there is a possible issue that needs to be looked at and addressed a little bit further in depth. Okay? Jeff, I'm going to have you spin around and look towards the other direction. So then you also want to assess, again, a general idea of what's happening within that shoulder area. So what you can do is have him bring up his arm and then reach down as far as you can. Okay? And you can bring the other one. And what you'll want to do is we're assessing the right arm, and it's the top aspect, so you want to see where he's reaching with that. Okay? And then what you'll want to do is drop that arm for me, and then bring your left arm, same type of thing, and then you can assess. Okay? Now, I assess the top ones that look fairly close, but you will notice that his right one can't come up as high. So bring this down again for me, and just bring this one back up for me. Okay? So again, you want to look at what the bottom part does when he brings it behind his back, and then let that one go, and then bring your left one up for me. So again, you can see there are some differences between what his right arm does and what his left arm does. And again, there's a number of aspects. It could be joint, it could be muscular related, it could be soft tissue, it could be scar related from the surgery itself, or it could be from other underlying things that he had done that caused the injury to his right shoulder. those are some good general screens just to look at in regards to kind of focusing in on the shoulder itself.
Right on.
Now again, there's a number of things, you want to check the lower back, mid-back, other aspects, because everything's connected in the body. So some key things again.
Things could be compensating for other things and creating imbalances there, I guess.
And that's why it's important to just, when you Google something and you look at something, or your best friend tells you what to do, you're not getting a full assessment of what's going on. So that's why it's important to see qualified professionals in these areas. So seeing someone like Jeff, for example, to assess your golf game, and then seeing someone myself that's highly qualified in the golf area to know exactly what's going on, so you can pinpoint the right things to do with regards to stretching, exercise, and whether treatment interventions are required.
Right on. Well, that's great. Thank you, Dr. Love, for that. I'll be sure to come in and get a full assessment, so we can figure out what's going on for my body.
Sounds great.
And for all the viewers tuning into the GBC Academy TV show, thank you for watching. And now we're going to go hit some golf balls.
Sounds great.